Hi, welcome back to Vlogmas and day number 13. It's a Sunday, so I mixed in a little of my regular episode stuff into my Vlogmas stuff. It'll make it a little bit longer. Grab a cup and join me. Today I have day number 13 coffee, which is the second box. So we'll go back to the first flavor, and that is Santa's Blend. So I went ahead and put some of that peppermint mocha creamer in it. And it is wonderful. I hope everybody's keeping warm and staying safe. Okay, so I'm going to start out with Christy's Closet D-Stash. Alright, so what did we have? We had 3 skeins of Batons Uplands. This was last week's D-Stash. It was 3 skeins, and this is a roving, bulky 5. I included a stitch marker, and this was 1. She hasn't claimed it yet, but it was Frida. Frida is on a hot streak. Okay, so what do we have for this week? Now, I got to tell you, this is week 67 of my D-Stashes. And I'm probably going to stop the D-Stash. I'm not quite sure if I will end it the last week in December, but I think I will. So that will probably be the last week. That doesn't mean that I won't have challenges, because I will have more, because I'll be able to use more, I'll be able to do more time with challenges and stop worrying about every single week. This is D-Stash number 67. If you'd like to try and win this, you need to be a member of my Facebook page and go over there and find the announcements tab, which will show you all the shenanigans going on over there. Please, if you are a new member or an old member, look for the pinned post. There's only one pinned post, and that is a welcome letter. It tells you how to navigate through all of the items that are ongoing. The challenges, the monthly, the quarterly, the weekly, whatever is going on at that moment will only show up in the announcements tab. The group is growing. It is to the point where it's very hard to keep up with things, and that's the reason why I made the post this way. Because when you are in the post, if you know how to navigate, all you need to do is go up to the announcements, and only the 10 items that are under that, no one else's post will show up. It's not a regular feed. That will give you the ability to quickly go to the challenge you want and post your hat, or go to the challenge that you want and post for the quarterly, or whatever you want to find will be in there, because I have clicked it as an announcement and I throw all the old ones out. I don't delete them. I just take them off the announcements tab. So let's get back to the yarn art. I believe this is a hobium yarn. This is a dancing baby yarn art. There are 2 of them, and it reminds me of ice yarns, or not ice yarns, ice cream yarn. It is not real soft. It is 100% acrylic yarn, so it's soft enough for that. The colorway is a number. It's 817, and it's a couple of tones of browns and gold and cream. Very nice. It is a light 3. A light 3, 100% acrylic. So, what else? It's nice. It is nice. But I have a lot of yarns, and I'm not going to use it. So I have put it up for this week's D-stash. And like I said, there probably will only be about 2 or 3 more of them. I am going to add into this week's D-stash a package of handmade ornaments that you bake in the oven. And I did that once before, and I want to do it again because it's December, so I'm going to put them in. They are not on the picture. If you are not interested and you are the winner, let me know before I mail them, because I want to make sure that somebody got these before Christmas, or they can make them with their kids or whatever. So that's going to go in with the D-stash this month, or this week. I'll be okay. Okay, let's see. The movie of the day. We'll get back to other things in the admin in a minute. Movie of the day is going to be number 20. Number 20 on the countdown. So it's called The Night Before. The Night Before is all they say. It doesn't have anything more in the title. It is a 2015, and it says comedy fantasy. And it's on Christmas Eve. 3 lifelong friends spend the night in New York City looking for the holy grail of Christmas parties. Oh, no. Stars are Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, Jillian Bell, and Lizzie Kaplan. Gave him a 6 stars. So no, I haven't seen that one either. Of course, I didn't think that I would have. Okay, so other things that are ongoing over on my Facebook page, and they tie into my YouTube channel, are the Candy Dish December Lotto game. Now, we don't have as many entries in this, and I don't know why. Is it because I haven't told you what the prizes are? Well, that was a secret. So I will be revealing those prizes, but you have only 4 days to get in. The candy dish is posted. It's a big candy dish. Your guesses are how many candy canes are in there, how many Santa Clauses are there, how many peanut butter cups. All of those questions are there. You can, I think there's 5 questions, and then 6 how many total candies in the dish. You enter that into the comments of that post, and I'm going to, well, Debbie and I are going to tally them on a graph, and we will find out who the winners are, and they will be revealed on Thursday live in the Facebook group at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's fun. So all you have to do is guess the candy. You don't have to make anything. And that's where I'm getting to. Don't forget, if you're making stuff for my challenges, if my name is on it, that means you can only make 1 item. You cannot post those items in all of my challenges. No, that's not fair. It's not fair. So I will be going around and saying something about it if I see you're posting more than 1 time. Only because you need to make something for the challenge, not make one item and post it several places. A lot of you know that. I'm not being mean about it. I'm just mentioning it because when other people see you do that, it tends to be a trend, and then they all start doing it. So, all right. So thanks a lot, girls. You're all good sports. It's all for fun. Huh. All right. So what are we doing? Oh, the candy dish. Yes, that is got to be, your entries have to be in by the afternoon of that day, so Debbie has plenty of time to tally any new entries. And I have my work cut out for me because I've got to get up those prizes. I know mostly what's going in them, but I don't have them packed and ready to go. Okay, let's see. Let's open a box on the Darn Good Yarn Advent. It is an odd number, so it's day 13, so I'm up to this square. And I was doing this every other day, and I'm going to have to start using these, and I have an idea. Ooh, look at that one. Oh my gosh, isn't these colors brilliant? Beautiful turquoise. Beautiful. I'm in love with this Advent. I should have got more than one. It would have gave me more of these colors. And Dee said she got more than one. That was a great idea. Because, you know, you can use them all year long as you're making things for next year. Because we always wait until the end of the year and start in December, and there's never enough days because we forget that we're doing other things like baking cookies and going shopping and wrapping gifts, and there's no time to make things in December. What are we, crazy? I have a feeling that I am going to challenge everyone to making something once a month. I have a feeling that that is what Happy Scrappy is going to turn into, because I love Christmas. Why not celebrate it all year long? Why not use Happy Scrappy as that place? I think it's a great idea. We wouldn't have to come up with new information. I'm going to have to talk to Christy about this right away. It was just a brainstorm I had right in the middle of taping. Okay, then I could make snowmen all year round. Wouldn't that be cool? I think it's great. Okay, so what am I working on? Like, I did like a whole bunch of stuff yesterday in the morning and stuff, and then I worked on my cocoon. I worked on that for a while. I don't know whether you can tell, but this second skein is got a different look to it, and it's almost like the halo on it. Halo. This is plenty of halo. Lots of halo. Anyway, it almost looks like it's a different shade of, and you know what? I don't think it's going to matter because it's going to be almost equal amounts. Like the top of the sweater is going to be one color and the bottom is going to be another. But I don't think it's going to make any difference because when you wash it, that fuzz is going to change. And I don't know. We'll see. It should be okay. I got to get it done. And then we'll all find out, won't we? Okay. So yeah, I worked on that a little bit. Not a lot of it. I should have worked on it a lot. Oh, but I had the Progressive Mystery Cal to work on. This is a November-December collaboration with Stephanie from Stephanie's Yarn Escape, which is my new girl that I joined up with. So I have things going on with 3 different people, and now something with Reggie. Yeah. Okay, so clue number 7. If you've been following Stephanie and I, hopefully you have. Her channel's linked below. She has her own Facebook page too, which is also linked below. How this is working is we have 9 weeks of a progressive challenge going on. We went up through week number 5, and then we gave you week number 7 and said that you had one finished item. And that week number 7, you would need, that clue number 7 would come out. You would need these amount of items to gather up for week 7. So week 7 is here. We put out the clue this morning, and of course I had to work on it. So I did. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm using a bulky 5, a Barcelona. You can find this at Michael's. It is a beautiful peony color. And they come in a pretty hefty size skein. Bulky 5, 328 yards in one of these. And you should be able to do this easily in 2 of these. You will have some left over, most likely. I'm using an L. One of these Amore Clover L. And that will give you, it'll go up, it'll work up fast. So the clue today said that you're going to be starting about 10 inches wide. So you would do a, where am I? There we are. You would do a foundation row of 31 stitches. And then you would go back and forth with the alpine type of stitch. So it is a double crochet, front post, double crochet, front post, double crochet, back and forth. The following row is a single crochet, which gives you the back side of your work. And then when you come back out on front, you will go back to the every other post. So your front post double crochets will not be lining up. The same type of pattern as I did before. Only this time I'm using double crochets instead of the front triple. Okay, so that's about 10 inches wide. It doesn't matter. It can be a little bit wider. However, is fine. So we're going to do that for about 39 to 40 inches long. So that's my progress. And this is going to be quite pretty in this colorway. So, yeah, I have to work on that. No time for this things. No time at all. The progressive prize jackpot, or the final grand prize. Now, how this is working is, if you make the item that we are doing and you finish and you put your name in your post that you're finished, your finished project at the end, your name will be entered into my grand prize one time. And that grand prize grows every week. We have 2 progressive type of, well, they're not progressive. We have 2 different times where we're drawing from your project photos of your progress. And we did one already. The second one is coming up. So if you are only doing one of ours, like you can do Stephanie's, and you can post it in Stephanie's, and you can post it in mine. One project, both places you can post, not a problem, because both of the grand prizes and both of the prizes for the random are different. She's giving out different stuff than I'm giving out, so it is you can post in both places, so don't forget to do that. Okay, what else? Oh yes, today's prize. To add to the basket, we have a cake of Willow Wheels. And Willow Wheels is from, where are you? Here you are. Willow Wheels is from Willow Yarns. These come in cake form. This one happens to be a very pretty flora. It's called Flora. These are, let me see, 70%, I think, 70% acrylic and 30% wool. And I'm adding on a stitch marker, which is a stocking. So this is going to go into the Progressive Grand Prize at the end of the Mystery Cal. So I hope you're all having fun with this. I know quite a few of you are waiting for today's clue to come out, which is awesome. I'm happy that you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Stephanie's enjoying it. We are so proud of our product that we just can't stand it. So let's see. While I'm talking about Stephanie, I'm going to add a little, guess what? We were talking that one night. We were talking on Messenger. And you know how on Messenger, a little round circle comes up with your profile picture? Well, I was busy working on Vlogmas, and she was busy too, and we were going back and forth talking, and I took a screenshot of my Christmas tree video so that I could use it for Vlogmas. And that is how I ended up with a photobomb. So the little tiny face that's in my thumbnail for Vlogmas is actually Stephanie's profile picture. So I just thought I'd share that with you. One person did figure it out. I commented on her comment yesterday. After I taped yesterday, she put the comment up, and I said, "Yep, you guessed it." So that was really cute. I never noticed it until like day 10 or something like that. That's amazing that I let it go that long. Okay, so going back to Stephanie, we have planned for you for the 12 days of Christmas this year a little back and forth type of packages and stuff that we are sending each other. We haven't sent them out yet. Hopefully they will be sent out this week, and then they'll be here for Christmas, because if we don't live that far away, there shouldn't be any problem. But they are going to be shipped out soon, and in those we are going to have a little back and forth. Hopefully you'll watch both of our channels during that. I was just letting you know that's what's up and coming. And the other thing is little dream crocheting. So in this bag, I have a skein of some of that sparkle Christmas yarn. And that is one of the projects that I want to start working on for the 12 days of Christmas that I haven't gotten to. Oh my gosh, it's going to be crazy. We've got a lot of things in no time. Okay, so let's go back to the ornament of the day. I made a star ornament, and I did it in the Simply Soft Party again, and this time I used a ribbon. It's real soft, like a country ribbon, and I sewed a snowflake right at the seam so you couldn't see it just made it cuter. So these are really easy. You start out with 5 puff stitches. This is a free pattern. I will link it below. And I just thought that was the cutest thing. So then I decided to try it out using that sparkle yarn again. Now this is the Premier Yarn Spangle. I used it in the edging on the angel earlier in Vlogmas, and I had it over on the shelf, and I forgot what the name of it was. So they still sell these They appear to be a thread yarn, but they're not as thin. Not as thin at all. It's all like gold and silver and bronze sparkle. It's like a 3 color. They call it a light 3. So they're saying it's not as thin. And it's used for decorating and stuff. I would not use this to make anything. It's very scratchy. Well, it appears that it's not really a yarn. It's more of something for making ornaments and sparkling something up. So what I did was I made one of the stars in this and only this. And it's okay. It came out okay. You see how it came out a little bit smaller? Of course, the red one is 4 medium. So this one came out a little bit smaller. I used a gold ribbon, and I used a star button on this one. So it's okay. It's not terrible. Now there are my stars for the day. And I think that I'm going to take and I'm going to send this rest of this spool, because I haven't used much of it, right on over to the Reindeer Express. All right, so let's get on to more dream crochet. I want to talk a little bit about some other stuff I want to work on, so that way you'll know what I'm thinking anyway. So remember when I got that new order from Ice Yarns, I went ahead and ordered again. Well, that yarn that was in there were 2 skeins of this. And this is called the Harmony Alpaca. How beautiful. But when I got it, I immediately thought of Christmas. So in my dream crochet, I'm thinking I need to make a stocking out of this. It's been bugging me. And by putting up my room and getting everything situated so I can see the yarns, I've been seeing it. It's over there on the shelf. And I'm like, I really need to make a stocking out of this before Christmas is over. But like I said, I think I'm going to change my channel a little bit. So we have some challenges throughout the year that I'm going to do stuff like this. And I'm going to challenge you to do it too. Anyway, so what I thought is that red that I was using on the dress, I still have a little bit of it. I could use that for the cuff, even though it's not a good match, but it's good enough. I think I'm going to do that. That sounds like fun. And I have a pattern that I'm going to choose for that too. I found it on Yarnspirations a couple years ago, and I like that pattern a lot, so I'll probably use that stocking pattern. It's fairly easy. And then another thing I was dream crocheting, and I actually shared this in my knit night with my other friends, and that is not just a knit night. We are crocheters. We probably are more crocheters than we are knitters. But it's so fun to just say knit night. So we keep it at that. I have decided to challenge them and all of you in January. And actually, this is a 2021 challenge. So I've already told them that I'm going to do it. So that holds me accountable. So what I did was I told them what pattern I was going to use for it. And it is going to be what I call an heirloom in the making. So it's a 12 square Afghan, and each square can be made in each month of the year. So in January, you would only have to make one. In February, you make the second one, and so on. So if you did it, you would need to prepare yourself for some yarn. Now, we could get any kind of yarn. You can use any kind you want. So that way, as we're progressing through the year, everybody's would look different. you know, I know what I'm going to use, and I even showed it, I think, one time, or I talked about it one time, not that long ago. I am going to use a Stitch Studio by Nicole in the cream colorway. It is tweed, and I'll show it again. It's a medium weight, so you can also use a medium weight worsted, and you're going to need approximately 2,900 yards for this complete Afghan, and an I-9 5.5 crochet hook. So this is what the blanket is. It's a pineapple blanket. The name of it is Pineapple Afghan, and it is a free pattern, so I don't know why I was holding the pattern that way, because it's free. I found it at ePatternsCentral.com, but someone else also found it that it is on Ravelry, and it is free, and it is by Judy Teague Treese. She has 3 names: Judy Teague Treese. So the pineapple Afghan, you make 12 of them, and what we'll be doing is, I will anybody who's doing it, I'll randomly be going through, you know, the posts for the year and giving out prizes when I feel like it. This makes it much easier for me. So that is one of the 2021 definite pineapple Afghan challenges that I am going to be having on my Facebook page. So if that helps you think about that in the future coming up here. And what else? What else? I'm not sure if I have anything else here that I plan to talk about. I think I said everything. So I have in my snowman bag, I have my snowman sweater, and I haven't gotten any farther than the first 8 rows, so I'm trying to hold myself accountable to work on that this week. It's Sunday, so that's a weekly thing, not a daily thing. So I'm dream crocheting today. I'm dreaming that I did more than I did. And then I have a January blanket that I was hoping that I would have done in January, and that's in my Al Gray tote. And this blanket, I started this blanket when I found out about the baby, and Debbie, my friend Debbie, sent me this gorgeous big twist in this beautiful colorway, and I said that I have to make for my granddaughter. So again, I'm holding myself accountable. I need to get working on her blanket. It's not a big deal. She will be here after Christmas and get it after Christmas. And I probably won't do many rows on it. It is a pattern I picked out of this magazine. It is Make One for Baby magazine. This is Leisure Arts. I make a lot of out of here. I really like this magazine. But if you look on the back, let me see here. It's this white one down in the corner, like that one. So I haven't made that one before, so I thought I would try it. Seeing I was using one color, I figured let the pattern speak. And then, but this is so fluffy. It's got halo. So that's why I had to make it for her, because it's going to be just gorgeous. In this 100% acrylic, it is a big twist, and I need to get working on it. So there's all my dream knitting for the day. I'm having a good time doing that. Dream crocheting, not knitting. I've been dream knitting too, believe me, because I have something that I am going to work on in 2021 that is going to also be more vintage-like. I want to try and show you more things that are my style. this year. So, let's see. I think it's time to open up my package from my Advent minis from Kim the Crafty Nomad. Oh, speaking of her, we have a party planned, and I got to get working on stuff for that too. We have a party planned for this Saturday on her channel live, and it is going to be a sweater weather. Ugly sweater weather Christmas party. So if you wear a Christmas sweater and you come on the show, your name will be entered. Now, you can come on the show for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever. Show us your sweater, show us what you're working on, and you will be entered. That is the main theme for the show this weekend. So it is at the Crafty Nomad channel. She will put up a link for a reminder, and it will be Saturday at 12 Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. It's usually 2 hours, so hopefully you'll schedule us in for that time slot. Okay, and Reggie said she was coming. So, from J Hook Crochet, if you know who she is. So, I'm going to open my box and take out another bag and open that and see what color we got today. I'm getting used to Vlogmas. I mean, I'm getting used to taping every day, but another thing about it is that I don't have a lot to, show you, and I wanted it to be a fiber, fiber cast. Hobby Rainbow Colors, Natural Cotton. Okay, this was another cotton one. Oh, this is going to make noise today, huh? Okay, look at that. A natural color one. I think it's more blue than it is gray, but it's a solid. And it's 100% cotton, so I'll put that on the next. Day number 13. And let me show you. I've got it here in my Christmas bag. Take out what I did yesterday and show you. If you count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that was 12. This is a perfect thing to have a solid going on again after that splash of variegated in there. Is exactly why I am very careful with what I use my variegated for in the past. Not saying that I don't like this, but if you've got OCD of any kind, shape, or form that will bother you, I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to go into a very long sweater. This is only halfway, or not a sweater, a scarf. This is only halfway, and it's already long enough to wrap, and so you're never going to notice it. You're never gonna. So this time, I'm going to let it go. I'm getting old, then I'm letting things go and not changing stuff. But I'm also on camera doing it, so not a problem. Okay, so that'll go on, like I said, right after that. I think I'm done. I think I've said all I've got to say today. Oh, and that's the other thing, too. When things calm down, I might be able to add a couple of my scraps on my scrap blanket for 2021 also. And I will just keep going with that until I feel that it's big enough for one of my girls to have. So that's the Navajo pattern. I've showed it before, but I don't think I showed it on Vlogmas. And it just sits over here and waits for me to... All right, so I will talk to everybody tomorrow. And be sure and enter into all the things, the hats, and more hats. The Happy Scrappy Yarn Challenge for snowman themed items. And speaking of that, this is the kit that you can win if you enter a snowman into the Happy Scrappy for December. That Facebook page is also linked below. All the things I talk about are linked below. So I will be picking one winner the end of the month for that. Get your snowman in, girls and guys. So I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a great rest of your weekend, and bye now.